Welcome to Dark Truths. Religion Uncovered, a space where we delve deep into the intricate relationship between ancient sacredness and contemporary spirituality. Tonight we're exploring a transformation that has unfolded so gradually that it often seems harmless. The moment when holiness shifted from being a lived reality to a mere symbol. In ancient times, holiness wasn't just a lofty idea. It was a profound condition that touched every part of life. It influenced diet, speech, as well as sexuality, and how people behaved. To be holy was to be separate, to be distinct from the ordinary. It was a divine command. Be holy, for I am holy. This wasn't just poetic, it was a serious expectation. Sacred spaces were fiercely protected, and sacred times were meticulously observed. Mishandling the holy was very dangerous. The tangible nature of holiness created a healthy fear, not of a punishing God, but of violating something powerful and real. Now, fast forward to today. Modern beliefs often reduces holiness to a metaphor. We talk about being set apart while blending seamlessly into the culture around us. Holiness becomes a subjective, internal feeling rather than an external practice. This feels inclusive and welcoming, but ancient theology would see it as a watering down of the sacred. Throughout scriptures, your holiness was never just an ascetic ideal. It was a transformative force that disrupted and challenged the status quo. It demanded change. The nation of Israel wasn't holy just because they felt holy. They were holy because they lived differently, often in stark contrast to their neighbors. Modern beliefs oftentimes shies away from that distinction. We want to belong, to avoid the scrutiny that comes with being different. Being holy might mean saying no when everyone else is saying yes, embracing restraint in a world that celebrates indulgence. Ancient faiths understood the cost of holiness. It wasn't about feeling superior. It was more about aligning with God's will and nature. The radical otherness of God demands a similar response from us, but we often substitute it with mere symbolism. Today, we might wrap ourselves in the language of holiness without committing to the practice. We admire the saints, but don't emulate their disciplined devotion. We revere sacred texts as historical artifacts, but don't let them shape our daily decisions. Holiness risked becoming just an inspirational poster on the wall, not a force that actively shapes us. But inspiration without formation is fleeting. Scripture is clear. Holiness cannot stay abstract. When holiness is disregarded, the consequences aren't about punishment. They reflected the simple incompatibility of holiness with indifference. Think of fire itself. It can purify, but it can also consume. This imagery is unsettling for modern sensibilities, so we often soften holiness into simple goodness. But goodness and holiness are not the same thing. Holiness is a deep, relational alignment with the very nature of God, and that alignment always demands change. We tend to want closeness to the divine, without the transformation that comes with it. But ancient theology is firm on this. An encounter with holiness either transforms you, or it shatters your illusions about yourself. This is why priests had rigorous preparations, why prophets trembled, and why people were left undone in the presence of the holy. Holiness has never been safe. It's saving, awakening, and profoundly disruptive. So here's the unsettling truth. A symbolic holiness will never confront real sin. A decorative version of the sacred will never demand genuine obedience. Ancient believers understood that holiness reshapes everything it touches. It's a reality that we often forget because, frankly, remembering the cost is inconvenient. But without it, faith risks becoming a shallow spirituality with no real depth. As we close, I leave you with a question that ancient theology would ask without hesitation. If embracing holiness required you to live in a way that was unmistakably different from the world around you, would you still want it? Thank you for joining us. Please share your thoughts in the comments. Has holiness become just a symbol? Or does it still shape your life in a real way? Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the truths of religion.